Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here with more collection video goodness. This one is going to be GameCube videos, which is only going to be one video because I don't have a lot of GameCube games. But I like the ones that I've got. So we'll just quickly start off. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. This is actually a really fun side-scrolling platformer that uses the Congo bongo drums. I actually like this one a lot. I thought it was kind of nifty. Kind of short, but it was meant to be because it was packaged with the drums as a reason to get the drums. Along with Donkey Konga 2. I actually got both of these games. GameStop was clearing out their bongos for like $5 a pop, so I picked up both of these. I picked up 2 sets of bongo drums. One came with Donkey Konga 2, one came with Jungle Beat. This is a Guitar Hero-esque game, but instead of a guitar, you play a bongo. So you can pretend to be, I forget the actor, Matthew McConaughey, who gets stoned and plays the bongo drum as a stress release. You can do that now with your favorite monkey wearing a necktie. I got nothing else to say about that. Jungle Beat's fun. Donkey Konga seemed kind of a little too niche for me, but I got it for cheap in a set of bongos. Next up, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. I got this game because at first I thought it would be really cool, but then in order to make it worthwhile, I need to have 3 other friends, and all said friends need to have a Game Boy Advance SP and the GameCube link cable to play this game. So it's not as much fun as I would have imagined it being a multiplayer Final Fantasy game. But it's still interesting. But in order to get the most of it, you need 4 players, 4 Game Boy Advance SPs, and 4 link cables to link them all together to get all of the different various information types to the players. Otherwise, the information missing is not detrimental, but why not? Next up, again, tactical RPGs. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. This is the first game to show Ike, who fights for his friends and does crack cocaine. Really, I mean, it's a Fire Emblem game, so it's brutally unforgiving. If people die, they stay dead forever. So, sucks to be you if you worked up one guy to be a god only to get a lucky shot to have him taken out. But it's a masterpiece in itself. And it's where Ike comes from, so if you're a big Smash Brothers fan, that's that. Next up, Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition Promotional Disc. This one has the original Zelda and Zelda 2 The Adventure Link, the NES cartridge games, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. I don't have the other one that has the Master Quest, so I don't even know what the differences in Master Quest are, but I wanted this one for the original Zelda and Ocarina of Time.
Master Quest has different dungeon layouts. I think that's the main thing. Different
dungeon layouts. So if you got that, I'll probably get a comment on it. It's like, oh my God, you noob! You don't know about Master. Why? What? You should jump off a bridge and kill yourself now. Go die in a fire. Because I don't know what Master Quest. But I do have Wind Waker. I didn't want to get Wind Waker first because I was really pissed off at Nintendo at the time because they show the GameCube trailer of Zelda and it's all badass. Link fighting Ganon and Ganon doing the come hither thing. Link, and then they release this as the cel-shaded, cat-eyed, big head, cartoony version, and I'm like, the hell did you guys just do? That was the biggest bait and switch. But it actually is a fantastic game. It is very highly regarded as one of the best Zelda games made. It and Majora's Mask seems to be another big popular one, or Ocarina of Time. People are kind of split on those. But this one, very good entry for that console generation. I would have much rather seen the Zelda series go a little darker with what the original concept was supposed to be like, but it still works. Next up, I have this travesty, Mega Man Anniversary Collection. I have this on the GameCube. I don't have it on the PS2, and I regret that decision. Because the buttons are switched. If you've ever played the NES version, The jump button and the attack button are set. In this version, they're flipped, and there's no way to switch them back. So, really? Really? There's no way that you could do a button config for this? On the upside, it is all of the classic Mega Man franchise games, Mega Man 1 through 7, and then the 2 Power Battle games, Mega Man Fighter, Mega Man Power Battles. So, I mean, it is your classic Mega Man games. It says that there's 10 Mega Man games on one disc, but I can only remember the 9. I don't remember what the other one is. It's not Mega Man Racing or Mega Man Soccer. That's the thing. Mega Man Soccer's not on anything. But it's a good game, but better on either the Xbox or the PS2 because the buttons are actually what they're supposed to be if you've ever played a Mega Man game before. Next up, Mega Man X Command Mission, and it's covered in stickers that I can't get off. It pisses me off. Freaking EB Games with their stickers everywhere. This is a Mega Man RPG, turn-based RPG, plays very similarly to the battle system for Final Fantasy X in terms of how character turns are stacked, but it also has really interesting overdrive limit type abilities where Mega Man gets giant cannons on his shoulder, Zero turns into a really creepy winged version, kind of like what Bass did in Mega Man 7, where he could fuse with his dog like Mega Man and Rush did. Zero just gets it on his own and has creepy black bat wings covered in circuit boards. Really interesting game. It's set in the Mega Man X series right after 7, so you've got Mega Man Zero and Axel as main characters, and then a bunch of other characters that never show up again in a Mega Man game ever. But really interesting, so I picked it up. Next up, Metroid Prime, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. To be fair, I've not really played much of these. I played 3 a fair bit, but I could never really get into the first-person aspect of a Metroid game. It just didn't really do much of it for me. I liked the old-style Metroid exploration type videos or video games with the badass side-scrolling. These are good games, though I've heard Metroid Prime 2 sucks. I've never really played it. Like I said, I started with 3 because I picked that one up on the Wii first. But I got these 2 from Culex, so thanks.
Yeah, I picked up the trilogy, so...
Yeah, he got the trilogy on the Wii, the overly expensive trilogy on the Wii, so he gave me these 2 since I already had 3 on the Wii. Next up, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. This is kind of a follow-up to Mario RPG. In a way, there's Paper Mario on the N64. It's just listed as Paper Mario. But the Paper Mario franchise kind of started off as a sequel to the Mario RPG on the SNES, but done by Nintendo. Nothing to do with Square, which is I kind of think why they changed the art style for it to the 2D flat style. But it's still an RPG, and it's starring Mario, and you get a very busty ghost, a Goomba wearing a mining hat. I mean, you get really interesting allies. The combat system is a ton of fun because there's an audience watching you, so you get better XP for the more entertaining your performance. So it's a very cute game, well worth picking up if you're a RPG or Mario fan. Next up, Phantasy Star Online, episode 1 and 2. This is just episode 1 and 2. It's not the episode 1 and 2 redone that has the extra stuff on it. I actually got this as a gift for helping out a customer once. So I worked at GameStop, and he was trading in a bunch of stuff for a new game. Apparently GameStop could not take this in because even though it has an offline mode, because the online servers are not down, or because they're not up, they're down. You can find private servers, but it's not an officially sponsored game anymore. GameStop won't touch it, and I told them that, but then I went home that night and checked up on it and saw that it was selling for a ridiculous amount. It was like selling for $40 online, something like that. I told him about it the next day because he came in to finish paying off what he was trading and stuff for. I told him, and he's like, "Oh, that's awesome. You know, you could have dicked me over and taken it for yourself. Like, you could have offered me like $1 in cash under the table, but you told me about it." And he gave it to me just as a hey, thanks for not dicking me over. I can't do anything with it, and I honestly can't be arsed to take the time to sell it online myself. So he gave it to me, and I'm happy because I love Phantasy Star, especially the online one. I remember playing that on the Dreamcast. It was fantastic. Pikmin 1. I actually got this originally from my wife. She played it and loved it. I've played a little bit of it myself. I haven't beat it, but it's a really interesting little game where you basically throw little plant people to die to save yourself. It's a really interesting little resource management strategy game, but it's cute. It's cute. I don't have Pikmin 2 on the GameCube because of its price tag, but I do have it on the Wii, so I mean I do have it. But only difference is that Pikmin 2 has multiplayer. So if you've got access to it, play Pikmin 1. If you have friends, play Pikmin 2. If you don't have friends, then find some friends. Anyway, now that I've alienated some viewers, nothing like that. Skies of Arcadia Legends. I found this at a GameStop for like $10. It was when they were getting ready. Or no, $16.19 after tax. Because I still have the receipt in it. I found it and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get this game. My wife was looking at me like, why do you have to get this game? Because I found it for cheap and I love Skies of Arcadia. I played it. I remember getting the demo disc on the Dreamcast and I played that for days. I just sat there playing the demo over and over and over again. It's just the first dungeon over and over. But it was just so awesome and it was such a different style of game at the time that I couldn't put down the demo. I bought it on the Dreamcast. I heard the GameCube version had some extra stuff to it. I had to get it. I saw it for a great price, so I picked it up. Sadly, the extra content is just kind of more annoying than it's worth. Next up, Sonic Gems Collection. This is the lesser-known Sonic games on the GameCube, and this is the only version of this game. I think there may be a PC version of it, but it was Sonic Gems was not released on any other console. It's got the whole reason why I got it is it's got Sonic CD, Sonic CD, Sonic the Fighters, Sonic R, and then a bunch of the Game Gear games on one. It's got 9 titles on it, but I don't really think it has the main Sonic 1, 2, and 3 since that's available on so many other things. These were all the other Sonic games that didn't get too much recognition. But I wanted it for Sonic CD because I wanted to play Sonic CD before that it came out on Xbox Arcade and PlayStation Network. I think it's out on both. But yeah, and it had the Game Gear titles, which yeah, I actually grew up on. I had more games for the Game Gear than I had on my Genesis growing up, so I kind of had to go for that. So then Sonic Mega Collection. Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic & Knuckles, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, plus a couple of unlockable non-Sonic games, like I think Vector Man and Comic Zone are on this. But this is what me and Keelix played when we went through the Sonic games, because at the time it was one of the only games that you could actually play Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Because all the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection on PS3 and 360, you have Sonic 1, 2, and 3, and Sonic & Knuckles, but Sonic & Knuckles doesn't link, so you don't get the full game. So, dick. That was just frustrating, so this was actually a pretty good game. There's actually Sonic Mega Collection Plus on the PS2 and Xbox, I believe, that has like 2 more games added to it. I don't know what those games are, but I picked this up first, so I wasn't going to pick up the Plus because that just seemed like a money grab to me. Next up, Super Monkey Ball. This is perfect for if you like entrapping small marsupials in spheres and watching them drunkenly run around. That's basically the game. It's fun because we could play monkey pool. Because I suck at real pool, but video games, I'm apparently really cool at pool. I'm going to pretend like I didn't say that and just keep moving. But Super Monkey Ball, it's monkeys and balls running around. It's got a bunch of fun game types, so well worth it. This one is a game that really does not need any introduction. Super Smash Bros. Melee. If you have a GameCube or a Wii, just buy this game. Do yourself the favor of owning this game. It is It is the best Smash Brothers out there, even though it doesn't have all the characters and a lot of cloned characters, so half the characters are the same as other characters. But it was the adventure mode, the stage mode for like going through Mushroom Kingdom. It was just so interesting. The gameplay combat is very, very competitive. There's still a huge competitive scene for this. This actually just got added to the EVO tournament, I believe. So that tells you how competitive it is. And if you're not Fox only, Final Destination, no items, then you fail. But I fail because I like playing as Marth, which Marth's apparently another high-tier character, so I guess I don't fail that much. But there's no random tripping in this game. That's why I like it a little bit better. If there were no random tripping in Brawl, I would love that one better because just the tweaks to the characters. Next up, Tales of Symphonia. This is actually what Culex is playing now, but he's playing the PS2 version of it on the PS2 behind me. Right there. Wow. Pointing is off on this. Anyway, he's playing the PS2 version because it has some extra stuff, but I have the GameCube version. Plus, I don't speak Japanese. Culex speaks a little Japanese. So he knows what he's doing in that game, and I'm just sitting there going, I don't speak your language. What? So I went with the English version, which I got this one long before I knew there was actually a PS2 version. And the voice acting is kind of interesting because if you ever watch Teen Titans, that's Robin. Yeah. That'll mess with your head because you expect him to say Starfire no or something like that, and it doesn't happen, and it makes you a sad panda. But it's a great game. Great multiplayer game. I do want to do an LP of this one of these days. Me and Culex are talking about that, setting up a project like that, because it is just that fun of a game, especially when you've got other people to make life much more difficult for you.
Or easier, hopefully.
Well, depending on who you're playing with. If we're playing with Luth, it's going to be difficult. I love Luth to death, but it would make the game. It'd be difficult. It'd be fun. It'd be fun, but difficult. You guys would enjoy watching that kind of a train wreck, I promise. Next up, Beautiful Joe and Beautiful Joe 2. Side-scrolling platformer by Capcom where you are a movie star who turns into a superhero type deal, and you can speed up and slow down time, and you get the little cinema marks on the top. This game is just so wacky, or these games are just so wacky that they're amazing and cool, and you wouldn't think a game that looked like this would be as awesome as it is, and then you start playing it and you can't put it down. Beautiful Joe actually showed up in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 because why not? And he's got a giant head which throws off his hitbox. But this game is fantastic. It's a great side-scrolling beat-em-up type game. The sequel is interesting because you can play as the girlfriend from the first game. She's got guns. And what else is there to say when you can beat people up in slow motion or super fast speed and then add guns to the mix? But yeah, that is my GameCube collection, and my GameCube collection is complete. Like I said, there are a couple of titles that I do kind of wonder why I have. And there's a bunch of titles that I know I should have gotten, but I just can't bring myself to, like Mario Sunshine, because I just didn't like Flood. I hated that freaking backpack. Luigi's Mansion, while cute, was not my thing. Double Dash, Mario Kart Double Dash, I actually kind of hated the mechanic of having switching characters. So, I mean, there's a bunch of games on here that if you are a GameCube collector, you probably should have. And then there's some of the eclectic ones, like Eternal Darkness, that's always universally revered as a great game. Biden Kados, a good role-playing game, and there's actually two of those. But this is what I set out to get when I got my GameCube. And I actually don't even have a GameCube anymore. I actually traded in my GameCube. I had a copy of Tales of Symphonia, and I traded that in when I got a Wii so that I could afford Twilight Princess. So I ended up rebuying that. But this is the list that I set out when I said I wanted to get GameCube titles, so that's what I've got. But there are other really good titles on the series or on the console. Just because I don't have them doesn't mean they're not fantastic. But this is all that I'm going for. So yeah, that's my GameCube collection. I will see you in more collection videos. Till then, later everyone.